try to remember any questions that can come up, if there are any, and you can ask them after the yoga class. So we will always end with Q&A. And if you get questions during the time off when we are in between classes, write them down and take them with you so you can ask them to me later. Or you can just send them to me directly on Messenger, and I will get back to you either on Messenger if that is possible, or if I feel it's a problem that many people have, I can take it, talk about it on our classes as well. So always feel safe, and it's totally fine to ask questions to me whenever you feel you have them. You don't, you're not bothering me. In fact, I insist to you to do that because it will help you move faster forward. All right. So I will start to just talk about a little bit about the AFA formula, or what I call the AFA formula, which is my perspective of what has been shared to me in the yogic context, and what I have felt is my way of taking all this vast knowledge and to really pinpoint the things that have mattered most to me, to bring me back to balance and to remain in balance as much as possible, so I can save that precious finite energy to put it into the things that actually matters to me. And in your case, what matters to you, the people you love, the things you love to do, and so on. So the very foundation of that is actually concentration, which is pretty much what aware focused attention means, AFA. So it's a formula that exists by right knowledge and right actions, really. Actions in the sense of lifestyle choices, and tools and practices to infuse in your everyday life, because your everyday life is where you live your life most of the time. So that is where we want to make the small changes that will add up to that massive big change and effects that we want. So so you can see the yoga class as a time for you to immerse yourself in these techniques, and maybe challenge yourself a bit more than we usually do when we do the practices ourselves, because it's easier when we follow someone else to challenge yourself, or usually it is. For me, it is, at least. So it's good to have that weekly meeting where you get challenged a bit, but also you get time to ask the questions you need to move forward, because you will get questions from your practice. You will also get answers from your practice. So that's very good. All right. So let's start with the right knowledge. I know that both of you have seen this and you have heard me talk about it before, but I will talk about it again and again and again and again, because it's maybe the most important thing that you ever learn in life. And that is the clear understanding of what the mind is, the clear understanding of what awareness is, and how you move your awareness within your mind, within the mind, and hold it in one place, which is called concentration. So this is the right knowledge we want to have. We want to have the clear intellectual understanding, and then we want to know how to practically do this. And this is super important, because that is how you focus your finite energy on the things that matters. And by focusing on that, naturally, everything else that isn't that important will eventually move away, So instead of focusing on what you don't want to happen, we focus on the things that we want, and then we put in energy to that and we get more of that. But I will explain this as short as possible because I know you have already heard it. So let's start from the beginning with the mind. So what is the mind? You can think of the mind as a big, enormous storage facility. And in this storage facility, you have different rooms. And in these rooms, you have different content. And the content is your senses, the sense perceptions, all your memories, and all the experiences you have. So the emotions, the thoughts, and all the previous actions, and all the experiences you have had. So, and also will have. But that's not one. So this storage facility is completely dark. So you can't see anything. That is why you have the second part, which is your awareness, which is who you are in essence. You are awareness. And awareness you can picture as an orb of light, or as I like to say, a flashlight of sort. And this flashlight moves into the different rooms, and when it does, it lights up that area. And depending on where you put or direct your flashlight, you will see more of that. The longer you stay, the more you light up, the more you experience of that which is in that room. So a reaction is a movement of your awareness into a certain room in the mind or storage facility where a certain experience has drawn you to it. So maybe a feeling of being hurt. Someone says something to you and you feel hurt. This means your awareness has moved to this area in the mind where the room where you feel hurt. And as soon as you come there, you start to light up that area, that room, and you will start to see and experience more that is aligned with that room, in this case, hurt. So you will think about all the reasons why you feel hurt and why, and this will fuel the emotions of feeling hurt, which will fuel more thoughts because you will stay there. Because where awareness goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, you magnetize that area in your mind, that room. So you draw thoughts, emotions, and circumstances that are aligned with that experience. All right, I hope this makes sense. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You can watch this over and over and you can then come with questions. So what's important here is to understand that a reaction is your awareness that has moved to a room and identified with that room or that content of the room. So what we want to do is to learn how to separate our awareness. We want to, in a way, take our flashlight out of the room and into the corridor, and then we can just see the movement, which is the habit, which is the emotions, the thoughts, its movement in the mind, and just watch it from a distance. We have created a sort of inner spaciousness. It feels like an inner space. It's like you zoom out when you zoom in, but it's a little bit weird. But you zoom out from that movement and you can just feel it, observe it, but from like a sort of distance, a sort of inner spaciousness. And this is when you are aware, when you have aware, focused attention. Because you're the more aware you are, the more alert of this movement, the more you feel it, see it, but from a distance, the more focused attention you have on it. And then you can release this pattern of behavior because you watch it until it moves away. And it's sort of like you close the door and that emotions and that experience of feeling hurt in this case has moved away down into subconscious mind, but you have taken out some of the energy. So it's not as attractive for your awareness to move there next time. So next time someone says the same thing, you might not even feel hurt. Or you just feel a little bit hurt and then you let it go. So this is how we start to release those behavioral patterns of behavior that we have. So that's why it's such an important part, because it's how we become more free to express who we really are and just be present in whatever is and with whoever we're with, which is one of the most the biggest way to express love to someone. It's to be fully aware with that person, fully have your full attention onto that person. So it's one of the greatest way to show someone love. And we can only do that if we have this space, because otherwise we will get drawn into identify ourselves with the content of the mind. So when someone says something to you, your awareness will follow thoughts about maybe how to answer, or oh, this again, oh, blah 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 blah, and you start to pay more attention to the thoughts than to actually listen to the person, being with the person. So to become aware or have aware focused attention, we need to separate awareness from what it is aware of, the content, the room of the mind. And we do this by noticing, just noticing what you're aware of. It really is that simple. The problem is that your habits want to drag you, pull you into identify with these movements within you. So if we take the scenario where you talk with someone, your habit of starting to think about what to say to the other person to answer them, or you maybe come up with a solution depending on who you are and how your mind works, the habits you have done that so many times, so you have a really strong pull, you have a strong attraction point to that behavior. So you need to be really, really present to separate yourself, to become aware with focused attention. In this case, on what the person says, and not what he says, not necessarily try to understand it, just listening to it, just being with this person. That is usually enough, because you have all your answers within you, as me, as everyone else. And when we give the space, we naturally give them space to start to see this, to separate themselves with time from the content of their mind.